I've been coming in and out of Thailand for years now. It's got everything a guy like me could ask for. Beaches, great food, cheap living. You can find something going on any time of day or night. But the longer you hang around here, the more you start spotting certain types of foreigners that just make you want to roll your eyes. Some of them are just plain clueless. Others can be a bit sketchy, and a few might totally mess up your night or even your whole trip if you don't watch out. It is like a weird zoo of Farang types. You get to recognize them after a while, not just by how they act, but by the vibe they give off. Some just scream trouble from the moment they open their mouth, while others seem okay until they suddenly are not. It's just all part of the scene here. I've pretty much seen it all out here. The loud guys shouting at the bar, the fellas who think they've found true love on the first night, and the fake best friends who are really just out there to scam you. They are all over the place. Stick around long enough and you'll figure out fast who's worth avoiding. So, before you get too settled into Thailand, let me run through my personal list of the Farangs that you definitely want to be aware of. Believe me, finding out the hard way can cost you a lot more than you'd like. So let's begin with the first, the walking wallet Farang. This is the guy that steps into a go-go bar like his wallet is on fire, throwing cash around the moment he sits down. You can spot the walking wallet a mile away. He's the guy splashing the cash around like it's play money, buying rounds for the whole place, paying barfines left and right, ringing the bell, dropping big tips. He's all about showing off to the girls. There's absolutely nothing wrong with spending cash and having fun. I'd probably do the same if I could afford it every night. The issue is, these guys usually end up getting cleaned out pretty quick. The whole bar will just light up when he walks in. The mama-san's smile gets a little wider, the girls suddenly remember their best English, and his table is never empty. He is the main character in his own movie, but everyone else is just waiting for the next scene where the money runs out. They are like walking wallets, and the girls know this. A laugh here, a lean in there, and suddenly he's buying drinks, dinners, even gifts later on, thinking he's the big man in their life. To the girls, it was never really about him. It's all about his cash. The walking wallet turns into an easy mark for scams, made-up stories, and constant requests for money. And the worst part is, he doesn't even notice he's being used until his money runs out and the girls are gone. If you are in Thailand, don't be the walking wallet. Set your limits, stay alert, and remember, being generous is fine, but throwing your money around without thinking just puts you at the mercy of anyone with a smile and a sad story. And the opposite to this one is the cheap Charlie. These guys, whether they've got cash or not, are the tightest of the tight. They will haggle over everything. If a beer is $5 cheaper at the bar across the street, they'll go there instead of paying $5 more for a nicer place. They don't tip. The girls are lucky if they even get a lady drink, yet they still expect her to sit and chat for free as if she shouldn't be working on other customers. It's a misconception that these cheap Charlies are broke. Normally, they are well off and have plenty of cash to have fun with. They just don't like spending it. You'll see that it's usually the people without much money who treat the bar girls, tip, and actually enjoy themselves. Being a cheap Charlie isn't always a bad thing, but it's good to loosen up and have some fun once in a while. These girls aren't at the bar just for fun, it's their work. Next is the broken-hearted Farang. This one hits close to home for a lot of guys. The broken-hearted Farang is usually fresh out of a rough breakup or a divorce, coming to Pattaya thinking they'll find a new beginning, or maybe even a soulmate, which they normally find in a bar girl. They are carrying a ton of emotional baggage, and suddenly every smile, every kind word seems like the answer to their loneliness. The problem is, even though these guys are usually streetwise and decent people, their emotions take over and they tend to fall way too fast and way too hard. They see only what they want to see. That girl at the bar who's nice to them for a few nights, to the brokenhearted, she's the one. They convince themselves that this new relationship is something special and start pouring both their hearts and their wallets into it. And trust me, Pattaya is full of broken-hearted Farangs chasing relationships that rarely turn out the way they picture. If you are in that headspace, take a breath, slow down, and don't let your emotions allow you to be taken for a mug. Next is the "I hate Thailand but I won't leave" Farang. Where do you even begin with these guys? Constantly moaning about the people, the culture, the food, how expensive everything is, the weather, and yet they still won't leave. You will see these guys nearly every day if you hang around the bars long enough, usually planted on the same bar stool with a beer, moaning about everything. Thai people don't drive right, Thai girls are scammers, the food is awful, it's too hot, the visa rules are unfair, the place is corrupt. It is non-stop complaining. They hate the culture, the language, the government, but somehow they are still there. You would think if they hated it so much, they would just leave. But they are not going anywhere. Deep down, they are hooked on two things that keeps them there: the nightlife and the women. It's the only thing in Thailand they actually enjoy, and even that they complain about. You will hear them say stuff like, "The girls were better 15 years ago," or "This place used to be a paradise." Basically, nothing is ever good enough for them. These guys are usually older, around 60 to 70, and they've got this bitter attitude that can really bring everyone down. You go out for a drink, hoping for a fun night, and suddenly you are stuck listening to a 2-hour rant about how Thailand has gone downhill. Just smile, nod, and keep going. There's no point arguing with someone who's clearly miserable and refuses to leave. Just stay away from these complainers. They are old, bitter Farangs anyway. There's no reason to hang out and drink with them. Now we have the drunken loudmouth. Now, these kind of Farangs I just completely stay away from. I'm far too old to deal with people like this. Don't get me wrong, we all enjoy a drink. Well, most of us anyway. But some people just can't handle their alcohol and end up loud and aggressive. You usually find these types around Walking Street in Pattaya or around Sukhumvit in Bangkok, walking around shirtless like they own the place, mouthing off and picking fights with other tourists. It's kind of funny when they argue with Thai bouncers, not realizing how locals deal with drunk, aggressive Farangs. Put it this way, it wouldn't be a fair one-on-one. The Farang would be quickly outnumbered by Thais who even had nothing to do with the fight. My advice for this one, especially if you are travelling solo and meeting new people every day, if you notice someone getting loud and rude after a few drinks, just finish your drink and head to another bar. There's no reason to get dragged into the chaos that they cause. The last thing you want is to end up being beaten up by multiple Thai bouncers, or even worse, thrown in jail. Next is my favourite, the "I've lived here for 20 years" Farang. You have definitely run into this type before, either in person or more likely in the comments section of some Facebook group or under a YouTube video. He's the self-declared Thailand expert who can't go 5 minutes without announcing, "I've lived in Thailand for 20 years. Like that somehow makes him a boss on everything: culture, language, politics, food, you name it. He wears it like a medal of honor, even though most of what he's actually done over those 20 years is sit in the same bar with the same drink, chatting with the same tiny circle of people every night. Usually, these guys aren't even on a proper visa. They are border runners or long-stay tourists hopping through one loophole to another, but they will still act like they are official Thai citizens and try to school you. You will hear them criticize other Farangs for not getting Thailand, even though they can barely string together a few Thai words themselves. The only culture they actually know is the nightlife, how much a lady drink costs, which girls are new this week, and how much they long for the good old days when Thailand was supposedly better. Honestly, it's cringeworthy. They love to butt into online conversations, especially if you are posting content. You'll see them drop the "I've been here 20 years" line, as if it ends every debate. Nobody cares how long you have apparently lived in Thailand. Stop telling people. Just ignore these types of people. They are not worth your time, and neither are their bar girl wives. Next, the delusional Romeo. You've seen this guy 100 times. He steps off the plane, dives straight into the Thailand nightlife, and by day 2, he's already going, "I think I found the one." And you can already guess how this ends. It is like they have never seen a pretty girl smile at them before. The combo of the cheap beers and a bit of attention goes straight to their head. They forget they are not the first Farang she's called handsome man this week. He meets a bar girl who calls him Tirak and tells him she's tired of working at the bar, and as easy as that, he's smitten. By day 3, he's sending her money, and by the weekend, he's shopping for rings and talking about moving her into a condo. The crazy part is how quickly it escalates. 1 minute he's buying her a drink, the next he's looking at apartment listings and figuring out how to wire money for her sister's hospital bill. Meanwhile, she is still working the same bar, telling the same story to the next guy. These guys fall fast and hard. Everyone else can see it's just a fantasy. He ignores all of the warning signs, the generic text, the sick buffalo stories, the way she vanishes for hours. But Romeo doesn't care. He's convinced his girl is different. He's special, and she is genuine with him. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You want to shake the guy and tell him to wake up, but he has just got that look in his eyes. He's already planning the wedding in his head while she's probably texting 3 other guys the same sweet messages. Watching it unfold is painful because it rarely ends well. 5 weeks later, he finds out that she is still working. She is still seeing other men, or worse, she never stopped in the first place. By then, he's already sent thousands of baht, maybe even met her family, and is convinced that they were building a life together. And this kind of thing happens more often than you actually think, and it's easy to fall into. Falling for Thailand is fine, but falling for a girl you met in a bar that you hardly know, that is a big no-no. But again, it happens more than we think. Next, the I hate tourists Farang. Here is a special kind of character. The guy who's literally a tourist himself but can't stop whinging about other tourists. You know the type, standing in the middle of Walking Street, shorts on, flip-flops, a Chang t-shirt, yet still managing to complain that the place is overrun with foreigners. That is the best part. watching them complain about crowds while being part of the crowd. These guys love acting like they are somehow different from everyone else. They will say stuff like, Pattaya's ruined, too many newbies, or it was way better before all the tourists came. Meanwhile, they've only been around a few weeks themselves, but strut around like seasoned pros. The irony completely flies over their head. You will usually catch them trashing backpackers, grumbling at anyone speaking English too loudly, or whining online about how Farangs have no respect for Thai culture, as if they themselves weren't hammered at a bar the night before, belting karaoke with a bar girl sat on their lap. Honestly, these guys are cringe. Bottom line, steer clear of these guys. They are miserable, smug, and just trying to feel superior to people doing exactly what they are doing. Really, their whole vibe is just draining. You came here to have a good time, not to listen to some guy complain about the very thing he's choosing to do every single day. It's like they are allergic to having fun. Thailand really is a melting pot. You will meet all kinds of people there. Don't waste your time with someone who hates everyone just for existing. Next, we have the Farang that gets jealous. Don't be this type of Farang when you come to Thailand. Don't meet a girl in a bar or on a night out and then get jealous when you see her with another guy the next time you go to her bar. I've seen guys get genuinely upset about this, like they caught their girlfriend cheating or something. Meanwhile, she's just doing her job. Same smile, same patter, just a different customer buying the drinks. It's literally how she pays rent. This always happens to men that come here and fall for the bar girl tricks and just forget that she is working. When you are not there, of course she is going to be talking to other customers the same way she has been talking to you, feeding someone else the same tricks that you fell for. Get it out of your head that you are different from the other Farangs that she has met. And newsflash, she isn't different from the other girls either. It amazes me seeing men get jealous over a bar girl, like the whole point of her job is to get money from customers. I've watched grown men get into shouting matches because their regular girl was sitting with someone else. They forget she's got rent to pay and probably 3 other boyfriends on different shifts. It is like getting mad at a waitress for serving other tables. If you feel yourself getting jealous or catching feelings for a girl in a bar, it's time to move on and start going to a different bar. This is where the 3-day rule comes in handy. If you encounter one of these guys, or you are on the unlucky end of having a jealous guy have a go at you for talking to his bar girl, just laugh at him and move on. These guys are sad. No need to let them ruin your night out. Next, the fake millionaire. This one's a classic. The so-called big shot, who shows up in Bangkok or Pattaya act like he owns half of the city. You've probably seen guys like this back home too, but trust me, they are just as common, maybe even worse, out here. The fake millionaire can't stop talking. He'll go on and on about his multiple businesses, property empire, girls in 3 different countries, and how he could retire tomorrow if he wanted. He's always waiting on that big deal or just taking a short break before flying back to Dubai. But if you look closer, the cracks start to show. That Rolex, a little too shiny, ticking like he just bought it for 500 baht from a street vendor. He will talk about cash all day, but never buys a round. Lives in a guest house you wouldn't let your dog sleep in. Doesn't pay bar fines, never tips, always forgot his wallet. Everything about him screams high roller until it comes time to actually spend. You see him flashing a wad of cash at the bar. These guys aren't just lying to you, they are lying to themselves. Many live day to day, broke, running from something back home, or lost in some fantasy world that they have made up. Some of them are con artists, some are just compulsive liars, but either way, they are not worth your time. My advice for anyone meeting people in the Thailand bars, they will spin all kinds of stories about their life. Just let it go in one ear and out of the other. Next, we've got the overstayer. If you are hanging around Thailand for a while, chances are you will run into a few of these guys during your stay. These are the ones who arrive in places like Pattaya and they fall head over heels for the life there, and instead of heading back home and planning their next trip properly, they just decide to stick around, even if that means bending or breaking the rules. More often than not, these guys are strapped for cash or working some sketchy off-the-books job like managing a bar. I try to steer clear of these people, not because they are inherently bad, but sooner or later their money runs out and they start asking to borrow cash, or even worse, they attempt to scam you. If someone is desperate enough to break the law just to stay in Thailand, you can bet they are desperate enough to try and take advantage of you too. The barfine bandit. These guys come to Thailand for one reason, and we all know exactly what that reason is. Often, they don't even bother drinking. They will walk into a bar, see a girl they like, and immediately start plotting their barfine strategy. And no, their plan isn't the normal route of paying the bar fine right there. They are trying to skip that part altogether. Usually, they will talk to the girl, find out when she finishes, and ask if they can meet her afterward without paying the bar fine. It's just a way for them to save a few baht really. It's a pretty boring tactic if you ask me, but apparently it works. Most bar owners and mamasans are onto this already, and if they catch you, you might get banned from the bar, and the girl, she could be in trouble too. But if you are only there on a short trip, you probably don't care about getting barred, and I doubt you'll give a second thought to what happens to the girl. If you ever have some time, walk down Soi 6 in Pattaya once the bars are closing. It's actually kind of funny to watch all the guys hanging around hoping for a cheap night. The scammer Farang. If you plan on taking a trip to Pattaya while you are in Thailand, you will spot these guys all over, and they are not always obvious at first glance. They might seem sharp, talk the talk, and act like they've got everything under control. They will tell you they are into crypto, real estate, import-export, or some exclusive investment opportunity. But when you look a bit closer, things start to fall apart. Their stories change, the details get fuzzy, and before you know it, you realize you are dealing with a straight-up scammer. These guys usually target other Farangs, especially newcomers who assume every tourist is just like them, looking for a good time. They will invite you for drinks, chat friendly, show off photos of their projects, and explain how easy it is to make money in Thailand if you know the right people. Then comes the pitch. Invest a little money, fund a new business, or wire some cash to secure a deal. And once your money is gone, so are they. The scary part is, they often look like ordinary expats. You would never guess who they are unless you are paying close attention. So if something feels off, trust your instincts. Don't hand over money just because someone speaks your language and they seem nice. Scammers love targeting fellow foreigners, thinking you'll be an easy mark. Don't give them that satisfaction. Next, the overconfident newbie. These are the fresh arrivals who act like they've already figured everything out after just a couple of nights. They strut around like they own the place, dishing out advice to other tourists on how to handle the girls and which bars to hit. It's all a front. They are trying way too hard to look like they know what's up, but everyone can see they are just tourists who watched a few YouTube videos before hopping onto the plane. The real regulars just sit back and shake their heads. They act like they've cracked the code on the Thailand nightlife, but they just don't realise they are about to get played very hard. This kind of overconfidence is a classic rookie mistake. They don't understand how much experience matters and how the local scene is way more complicated than it looks on the surface. The girls and the bars, they can smell that newbie energy from a mile away, and they will turn on the charm full force. What happens next is predictable. The overconfident newbie ends up spending way too much, falling for the usual tricks, and getting burned before he even realizes what hit him. So if you are new, keep your ego in check, listen more, and don't rush to act like the expert. Otherwise, you will just become another story about how fast you got played. And last but not least, the sugar daddy who can't afford it. This is the guy trying to play the sugar daddy but doesn't actually have the money to back it up. He's usually living off a fixed pension or a small retirement income, yet somehow convinces himself he needs to support not just his bar girl but her entire family back home, and maybe even a buffalo or two. You'll catch him trying to keep up appearances, sending cash for rent, school fees, phone bills, and all the other emergencies that seem to pop up every single week. You will see him eating instant noodles for the third day straight while his phone keeps buzzing with another urgent message from his bar girl girlfriend. He will show you photos of them together like it's all worth it, but you can see the stress in his eyes every time another money request comes through. The pressure to provide can be massive, and it's honestly tough to watch because he's stretching himself way too thin just to keep this one-sided relationship going. Pretending to be the sugar daddy without the means almost always ends up badly. The stress builds up, the money disappears, and the relationship fades. If you are on a pension, be realistic about what you can actually afford, and don't fall into the trap of trying to be someone that you aren't. Pattaya is full of stories like this, and they rarely end happily. For me, Pattaya and Thailand as a whole is amazing. You will meet people from all walks of life, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just keep your head screwed on, have fun, don't fall in love, and don't let your guard down for anyone, bar girls and other Farangs.